Okay, we're going to talk about area of rectangles today. So when you talk about area of a rectangle, first let's define what a rectangle is. It has to have 4 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it also has to have 4 right angles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. A square is also considered a rectangle. So this is your traditional rectangle where you have 2 sides that are longer than the other 2. But the formula to find the area of a rectangle is area equals base times height. And this is your base, and this is your height. You can also think about it as area equals length times width. Both of them are the same thing. They're the same concept. It's just a different way of saying it, using the different words, but meaning the same thing. So for example, and here is why this works. So if we have the base, and we're going to do 2 different problems here. Let's say that the base here is 4, and we'll say they're centimeters. And this side, the height is 3 centimeters. So if we look at this, the problem would be base would be 4 times 3, which would be the height, and 4 times 3 is 12. And we can see that it's measured in centimeters, so we're going to write centimeters here. And then we're actually going to have a little exponent after the centimeters. And the reason that it goes after the centimeters, because these are in our rectangle here, each of these are squares, right? Or they're not exactly perfect squares, but they are square centimeters. Okay, the way that I drew them, they're not perfect squares, but you get the idea, right? And then for the next one, if we look at this, the length is 3. Oh, let's change our color here. The length is 3, and the width is 2. So length 3 times width, which is 2. So that equals 6. And, let's say it was in inches. So 6 inches, and then we need our little exponent at the top to say squared. So 6 inches squared is how you would read that. So area equals base times height. So our base here is 9, and our height is 6. Or again, you could talk about it as length times width, so length and width. So with this problem, we have our base, which is 9 times 6, and 9 times 6 is 54. And then we need our unit, so we need cm, centimeters, and it's squared. And the reason that it's squared is if we had a grid on here, we would have rows and columns, and so each one would be square. All right, let's try it with a bigger rectangle. So we have 9 and 6, so we'll have 9 times 6, and 9 times 6 equals 54. And since it's measured in centimeters, we're going to have centimeters squared. Okay, so we're still doing base times height. All right, let's try another one. So our base, or you could call it our length, down here is our 4 times 8. So that equals 32. Our unit is in feet. And then we need a exponent at the top, so 32 feet squared. All right, let's try another one. So we have 6 millimeters and 6 millimeters. So 6 times 6 equals 36 millimeters squared. Okay? All right, so for this one, we have 11. Oh, we need a different color here. 11 inches as our base, 3 inches as our height. So we would have 11 times 3, 33. And we have inches and squared. So 33 inches squared would be the area of this rectangle. All right, next we have 12 meters by 7 meters. So 12 is our base. 12 times 7 equals 84 meters squared. Okay, so that's a little practice with area of rectangles.